Hey, tonight on the Cooligans, we're going to be doing some Kobe remembrance.
That's right. Plus, we're going to be talking about Chicharito a little bit.
Okay, and we also are going to be joined by SWP.
Wow, Shaun Wright-Phillips. That and more
on this episode of the
Cooligans! Yeah, baby!
Yo, what is
Come
up?
on.
What is good? All right, there's been improvement from last week's, baby. So that's good.
I couldn't talk. Now I can talk, but now I can't walk.
Now your leg doesn't work.
Walking like I'm talking, it's going to take a couple months for me to get both of them in one shot.
Okay, Migos.
Yeah, I done broke my right foot, I think.
Yeah, we should give people a medical update real quick. What happened to your ankle?
I don't know. I hurt a little bit, right? And it hurt for like 3 or 4 days. And
how'd you hurt it?
I think it was getting out of the car, you know, like that move where you push off. I felt a little twinge in the middle of the top of my foot. That's all.
Okay.
And I was like, that's nothing.
All right,
and then I walked
so you're
into
doing
the pain.
intense physical activity.
For me, yes.
And something else.
Don't you dare compare it to you getting out of a car, okay? Somewhat of a heavier load here, okay? And I just remember, like, you know, like you walking through the pain, it felt like a sore muscle.
Okay.
And then so DJ Step, the homie, is in town, right?
Okay.
He invites me out to go to a club Friday night. So Friday night, I'm out here, I'm dancing, I'm doing my thing, right? And I felt my ankle hurting. Like the top of my foot. And I was like, you know, it seems to be getting worse. Maybe I should just go home, right? So I go home. Nothing makes me feel older than that, right? I go home.
It's 8:15 p.m.
And by the way, dancing, I'm just having the blue plate special at a local Denny's. No, right? It's like 3 in the morning, right? I'm like, I should fucking go home. So I go home. I wake up the next day, and my ankle is this big.
Okay. So I didn't realize this was going to be such a long story. Hello, welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Christian Polanco,
and I'm injured. Alexis Guerrero's baby.
Okay, he's giving you his whole medical history before we even introduce ourselves.
That's right.
Yes, we are your favorite stand-up comedians that host the funniest soccer show that you have ever seen.
That's right. It's also the most injured and the gulliest soccer show in the world.
Yes. It's weird when the non-active one has the most injuries.
Well, I mean, that's how it happens. You know, my body's built for a sedate lifestyle, and I think getting out of the car is just too much.
A little too much, you know? It's like you tore a rotator cuff spinning up pasta.
Yeah, just whipping that sauce.
You know how that happens? It's a common injury. Most people...
Doctor's like, how'd you do it? Guy's like, threw a baseball 101 miles an hour. I'm like, you think that's tough? I was making mashed potatoes the old school way.
Yes, I'm glad that we can laugh a little bit because these last couple of days have been incredibly challenging.
It's so tough
for a lot of people, us included. I mean, it's difficult to you can't really talk to anyone without anyone sort of having some sort of experience or really talking about how Kobe Bryant affected them in some way.
And he did. And he had a positive effect on a lot of people. I mean, we were sort of talking about with a bunch of comics, like how big is Kobe? Kobe is bigger in LA than I think like Jay-Z or Biggie ever was in New York. Does that make sense?
Sure. I mean, I don't know how to make those comparisons. I think it's apples to oranges kind of thing.
I mean, I don't think you can't really quantify it. So it's how do you feel? And regardless of what you say, I'm going to say you're wrong.
I think Kobe, like anyone who passes, they mean something to that particular person, right? Like there are people who absolutely Kobe was revered. There are people who hate him for his past. So you understand that like there's nuance to it. It's difficult to comprehend, but everybody has their own experience that shouldn't necessarily be dismissed.
I think, look, there's a lot that we could talk about. There's certainly, if you have a gripe or you're not as sad that he's gone, I get it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of issues. I want to just talk about sort of the last few years of his life, how much, at the end of the day, this was a dad that passed away. What I can only imagine is trying to calm his daughter down and tell her that everything's going to be all right. Like the image of that, just regardless of what happened elsewhere, the image and the thought of that. I don't have kids, you know what I mean? Not that I know of, you know. You know, please.
Anything happen?
Yeah.
You have a TV show now, I think.
Yeah, all of a sudden, right? Like, look, kid, if you're out there, just show up when D's not around. It's gonna make things a lot easier for me. But no, all jokes aside, and look, this is the only way we know how to cope, so I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, it's just that image is gut-wrenching, and all the other families that were in that helicopter and the pilot, everyone along, it's just gut-wrenching. So you want to sort of take, what are the positives? And so many people are sharing videos of like inspirational things he said, and that whole idea of like the Mamba mentality, you know what I mean? And people getting up, and somebody was mad, they're like, of course the NBA didn't cancel games. It's like, Kobe wouldn't have wanted that. Kobe would have wanted those games to be played.
Sure.
And there's all these like little, like Mike Tirico came out and he put out a video or an explanation of a moment where his last game, he was at 59 points and he goes to the line or gets the first one to 59 points. In order to get 60, one of the players on the other team steps over the line.
Gordon Hayward, yeah.
Gordon Hayward, so that in case he missed it, he got the chance again. Like that little camaraderie, all these like little stories that are coming out.
He was respected.
Yeah, all these things are just sort of incredible. I know you were I wasn't a big Kobe, I wasn't a massive Kobe fan. I'm a Knicks fan, and he destroyed us every step of the way.
I definitely had respect for Kobe, but he was a huge part of my childhood, and actually brought this. This is my real book, my NBA card collection. I know it says Magic cards on it,
which is wildly embarrassing. You don't think this is embarrassing? This is wildly embarrassing.
I didn't collect Magic cards.
Yeah, no, you were cooler than that.
I collected, basketball cards, baseball cards, and also comic book cards. Okay,
Oh.
all right. I'm not claiming to be cool or have ever kissed a girl till last week. But look, as you can see, I always talk about Penny Hardaway, and that Penny Hardaway was my favorite player, so that's why he's on the first page. But I'll go to So this is who is this? Tim Duncan and Keith Van Horn.
Ooh.
Huge fan of Keith Van Horn.
So you only collected all-stars, is what you're saying.
Stephon Marbury over here.
We don't need to see all of them.
I'm just saying, I'm getting to the Kobe one. This is Kobe's page right here. So I had a bunch of cards. Look at this. Upper Deck, Fleer, NBA Hoops.
Oh, man.
Okay, this is my childhood right here. This is what I spent every cent I received on.
You know what? I wish I had a collection of pictures of sandwiches I spent all my money on. At the end of the day, maybe that's not a bad thing.
No, man, but this was it was difficult. Obviously, when I heard the news, I was my brother had texted me, and just tragic.
Did you ever get to see him play live?
I never got to see him play live.
No?
I couldn't. As a kid, I didn't have money to go to games and stuff like that.
But he played until we were older.
Yeah, and I never really went to too many basketball games. I just never got a chance to see him play.
My first memory of Kobe was my most vivid early memory of him is when he was on Moesha. Remember that?
Sure.
That's right. Dude was on Moesha. I think he was like 17 years old at the time.
Well, he took Brandy to the prom.
He took Brandy to the prom, dude.
Yeah, that was huge.
Hell yeah. I'd go. Hi, Brandy. And then I went to, I think it was in 2012 or 2013, Jeremy Lin scored 38 points on the Lakers. I was sitting courtside for that game. I met this dude who did all the promotion for the NBA.
Next to Ben Stiller, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Remember I acted with Ben Stiller on a Knicks commercial. Remember that?
Right. Yeah,
wow, that's kind of cool that you made that comment. Yeah. And no one will ever see it because it was to get Kawhi Leonard to come to the Knicks. And guess what? It didn't work.
It didn't work out.
And I tried to keep the jersey, and they caught me. I had a Kawhi Leonard number, I think it was number 2, right? I can't remember his name.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Number 2. I had a Knicks number 2 with Leonard on the back, and they ripped that joint right off me. But anyway, Ben Stiller goes, "Hey, man, you're funny." I was like, "Woo!" But anyway, the Kobe story.
Yeah.
Jeremy Lin scores 38 points. I'm sitting courtside. Kobe only had 33. And I remember at halftime, it looked like they were going to be going shot for shot. Right. So if you ever sit courtside, the only reason I got these tickets because my buddy did the promotion for the NBA. He texted me, "Hey, man, I'm in town. Do you want to go to a Knicks game?" I'm like, absolutely. Right. Middle of Linsanity. Right. At halftime, you get to go back to like the VIP area where they have like all the food and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there between John Starks and Allen Houston. And I was like, huh? And they're like, yeah, yeah.
Look at us. It was a Paul Rudd. Look at us.
Who would have thought? Not me, right? And I was like, and they're like, yes, we've talked to each other before. And I'm like, oh man, I'm freaking out. And then I go over and they had all these, like, they had sushi and everything. And then they had Kobe beef. And I was like, Kobe beef. I was like, I'm going to eat this. Like Jeremy Lin's going to eat Kobe today, right? And Allen Houston goes, yeah, man, can I reach over here? Like, I was like, no, not even a giggle.
You can't get Allen Houston a crack.
Yeah.
He's tough.
Allen Houston, come on. Patrick Ewing giggle. Come on, Patty Ewing.
One thing I want to point out was that the
That
effect.
I sat courtside?
No, not that.
Okay.
Even though that was monumental.
Yeah.
The effect and influence Kobe had on soccer and that the
women's soccer.
Yeah, and that the sport had on him. He was always at soccer events. We're seeing some photos here. He was always at a bunch of events. He was always
he grew up in Italy.
Yes, that's right.
He grew up in Tuscany, if I'm not mistaken. His dad was a superstar at the Italian game.
Played basketball, yeah.
Yeah. So D'Antoni, remember Mike D'Antoni?
Yeah.
He also played on that team, so he basically grew up with Mike D'Antoni as well. But so he learned about soccer that way. Huge fan.
And he supported the U.S. women's national team all the time. He would always talk about how his daughters loved the U.S. women's national team, and he respected those players because they were role models to his daughters, and clearly saw like a pathway for them to become either professional players or just be inspiring. We're seeing him with Mia Hamm. He was a Barcelona fan. He was a huge AC Milan fan. There was also I think the AC Milan players are going to be wearing black armbands in their next game for Kobe. We're seeing him here with Harry Kane,
which obviously goes to show he does charity work.
He does charity work.
There he is with the Tottenham player.
He's a good.
Right?
A lot of they needed the support.
Lowering his value of a photo.
We hear how many athletes he was in contact with, who he always supported.
Well, you and I follow a ton of soccer players on Instagram, right? Just because of what we do. A lot of European ones. I follow a ton of Arsenal players. Everyone was putting up Kobe tributes, and it should have made sense. But at first, I was like, wow. I never realized that, of course, everyone loves the NBA in Europe, but you never realize the influence. Like Romelu Lukaku put up a huge thing saying like how much he inspired him and made him a better player, and he was his biggest inspiration. And it's like you would assume he would be a fan of a soccer player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And no, here he is talking about Kobe, and the way Kobe went after, and the way Kobe trained harder than anyone else.
Yeah, but not only was he inspiring, but he was like one of these dudes that would call you. Like when people were injured, he would call them and keep them motivated. Keep inspiring them. Tell them same thing with Gordon Hayward when when Gordon Hayward broke his ankle.
Yeah,
Kobe was like one of the first to call him, tell him to like stay focused and work on the rehab one day at a time, things like that. So when you hear these stories, it's obviously difficult to not get incredibly emotional.
It's been a sad few days because of all these stories.
Yeah, because of He really tried to do something positive in the world.
And look at the way Shaq reacted. Him and Shaq famously had a huge beef. Remember Shaq did that freestyle where he said, how's my ass taste? Like,
yeah.
They had the real beef, and Shaq is distraught from every point. He even put up like a rap, like Kobe had given him bars for a song of his, which the two of them should have never rapped.
They should.
But
it was wildly responsible on both parties.
They're both at fault for that. But Shaq, and here's the thing, Shaq's from Newark, right? If there's one thing that I know about people from Newark is that we will carry a grudge forever. It's just who we are, okay?
Yes, you're built different.
You slight me, and I'll never forget about it.
Even the smallest thing.
Oh, you have no idea. But Shaq put up how hurt he was and how much he missed them and how he just assumed he'd be around forever. And it was one of those things where I know they sort of repatched the relationship in these years, but that there's some stuff. I know because I'm from Newark and so Shaq, that there's some stuff that Shaq had never said, some stuff that Shaq had never covered. He held on to some stuff. I could feel it in some of those posts.
Yeah.
And it almost makes you want to, right? It made me think like, should I reach out to people and let them know that, forgive right? Just move on. Who cares? I didn't because, again, I'm from Newark, right? I'm going to hold on to it forever. But it sort of gives you an idea. It's like there's so many ways that this dude has touched the lives of so many people in so many positive ways. And even people that had arguments with him and gripes and long-time grudges are feeling the effects of this.
Exactly. So, there's nothing left to be said besides, obviously rest in peace. And
to Gigi.
To everybody that was on that helicopter. It was incredibly difficult, and you can't even imagine what their family is going through, the Bryant family. But
all the families involved.
Incredibly difficult. So, with that said, rest in peace, Kobe. All right, welcome back, everyone. So let's talk. Let's go to a review.
I mean, people are going to notice there's a massive box in front of me.
You know what, Alexis? Nobody's noticed.
Look away. Okay? Also, I've never looked skinnier on camera. Okay, but we're going to get to this in a second because we like to show love to the people who show love to us.
Exactly, and we did get a review on Apple Podcast that we appreciated. So make sure you leave a review if you listen to this podcast.
5 stars.
And this came from Shader 33, and it just says thank you and 5 stars.
Okay.
And they say want to say thank you. Want to say thank you to y'all. I started listening to the pod since April. I've been dealing with depression and life has been rough for me, but you guys put out funny content to keep my mind in a good place. You guys cover every big news around the world and bring on amazing guests, but really the question is, when is Thierry Henry making an appearance on the show?
Let's go.
Would love to hear from my favorite player ever. Every day I keep trying to decide if I'm gully or gully adjacent. I think I'm turning mad gully. Go Gunners.
Let's first of all, come on, you Gunners. Second of all, would love Thierry Henry to be on the show. It's really all I'm asking for right now. It's my goal for this year. And also, welcome to the Gully life.
Okay, yeah, we welcome all. All right.
And shouts to the Gully adjacents. We need them.
Exactly. They support the Gully,
right? Who's
know?
there to pick us up from the game? The minivan with the apple slices.
We need you in our lives.
Cutting the crust off the sandwiches. Gully adjacent.
So thank you, all Gully and Gully adjacent folks. Help us get to 700 reviews on iTunes. So leave a review if you want to do that, please.
Now, let's open this massive box.
Okay, we got this giant box here.
Imagine a dude pops out of it. That'd be dope.
Okay. What is it, a bachelor party?
Oh my God.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Here, can you grab one of these?
Wow, these boxes are gigantic.
Hold on. Here, grab that one.
All right. Okay, I know what this is.
Well, it says it on the outside. This is insane.
From. This is clearly from Adidas.
Holy
smokes.
Look at this. It says Predator on the front.
Okay.
What?
I think I have a feeling. I've been seeing commercials for these.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Yo. Look at the drip. You don't have to bleep that out.
A shoehorn.
Yeah, baby.
Oh man, thank you, Adidas.
Hold on, I didn't get a shoehorn. Mine might be in the bag itself. Hey Alexis, we're excited to introduce you to the newest Adidas cleats, the Predator 2.0. Oh my God, look at this. This cleat debuts demon skin technology. Okay, cool.
Okay, all right. A little Satan worshiping.
Yeah. All right, well, goth kid got a job at Adidas. Made up of 406 spikes on the upper. It adds more spin to the ball because you know how much I'm going to be using this. Oh my God, they're not kidding. Look at all those spikes at the top of it.
Look at this.
Can't wait to hear what you think. Your friends at Adidas Football. # Predator. # gifted by Adidas.
Yo, this is huge. Thank you so much, Adidas. This is like...
Bro, you go wait till you see me at the deli, right? Just like getting in front of them, one of them old women that walking in front of me like, ba-ba.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how much Alexis is going to put these to use, but I would be impressed to see him
my God.
kick some into the upper 90 with these. These are dope. I mean, if you can't see, they have like they have little spikes on them to put fear into your opponents.
That's right.
So this is gonna be dope. I cannot wait.
First of all, these are just beautiful.
I cannot believe Adidas knows who we are.
Adidas sent us this, and it says my name on it. This wasn't a mistake.
They spelled it correctly, everything. It's just incredible.
They got our size correctly?
That's, oh, man.
Adidas, I will be glad to let you know how much I get for this on eBay. I mean, this is going to be...
No,
Wow.
you got to put those to use, Alexis.
For what?
With your bad ankle and
Yeah, I
everything.
can't even move my foot. Look at these. These are gorgeous.
These are dope. Thank you.
Shouts to Adidas.
Thank you so much, Adidas, for these. Oh, unbelievable.
Adidas, can I send you these back for some street shoes? Is that possible?
No, show some gratitude. All right. All right. We'll be back. We're going to be talking about Chicharito after this.
That's right. We are back. And look at Christian wearing the shoes already. You're one of those dudes that when you get a Christmas gift, you put it on right away.
Yeah,
like a birthday gift. I'm not. I'll put it away and then like a week later be like, oh yeah, it's time.
Oh, these are fire.
Are they?
Yes.
Demon skin technology.
Yes, we should start. How should we start this segment, Alexis?
I don't know, by talking about it. Why did you never
Talking about
ask me that
Chicharito, we discussed this during the break. Chicharito, we were how thrilled were we last week when it was confirmed that he was coming to MLS.
We were like, this, what a PR, wonderful heaven. Nothing could go wrong.
Nothing could go wrong. And Chicharito was like, no, un segundo.
Yeah. I'm sorry, let me just FaceTime my mom real quick and ruin it for everybody.
No, if you don't follow soccer Twitter, what are you doing? But you must have seen Chicharito basically say that he's talking to his parents, and he says, to paraphrase, this is the beginning of my retirement. Once he's announced,
from the European dream.
Yes, he does say that, but people got caught on
the word retire.
The word
is all
retirement
of it.
was.
If he was like, I shall retire to the bedroom. You're like, I told you MLS was a retirement league. I knew it.
See, we can't have these weak-minded players coming to our league.
We got to start buying 22-year-olds, not 32-year-olds.
Wait, do you mean 22-year-olds or a 122-year-old?
Buddy, would you rather get attacked by 100 ducks that are the size of horses?
No, look, we had shared it on social media, and I pointed out, like, he was having a very emotional conversation with his parents.
By the way, and you said, if you're the one who tweeted this.
Yeah.
Right? And he has apparently like a YouTube reality show.
Yes, he has a vlog. It's not real. It's just a vlog.
It's embarrassing. But you're in the league now. Calm it down, right? But he had this like sort of emotional phone call with his mom and his dad, and he was sort of. You had posted this like, yeah, people are going to attack the retirement thing, but really at the end of the day, this is someone who's clearly wants to make his parents proud. We're Latinos, we get it, right?
Yeah.
I gave up on that dream years ago. I became a comedian, but most
I think
people
man gave up on being Latino.
I'm up for grabs. Who wants it? No,
it's just a racial draft all over again.
Yeah. Anybody? I'll go Albanian. You know what I mean? No, but like the thing of like the whole like the tweet was talking about like this emotional outpouring of trying to like make your parents proud, and your parents having to be the one to be like, don't be upset. This is great. Don't worry about it. Yada yada yada. And we got attacked from both sides of the argument.
Everybody was there. Yeah, people were obviously the MLS diehards were less like, no, he's gonna be a flop, and look at him. He's already thinking about retirement. But when the way I took it was he. Going to, or actually, let's say, leaving Mexico, going from Chivas he ended up going to Manchester United. That was such a huge dream, right? And in Mexico,
huge moment for a Mexican player.
All of Mexico is proud of him.
Yeah.
For making that move, and that's why Liga MX players going to Europe is huge, and that there's so much to be proud of to make that move.
Right.
And
it's a little bit of validation for the Latin American player, which is huge.
And we know Chicharito, while he was at West Ham, wasn't getting, he wasn't doing as well as he wanted to. At Sevilla, wasn't getting a lot of playing time. And he wanted to play. And if you watch the end of that clip, he says he's crying. He's like, I just want to play.
And he says, I know I could still do it. I believe in myself, but if they're not going to give me the opportunity, I just want to go play.
Yeah, and I can understand why he feels like that is the failure to some degree, and that going to MLS is saying, hey, I'm giving up on trying to make. He could still be a prominent player in La Liga. Like if he got the opportunity, and he from basically, if you watch this episode, he really feels like he's misunderstood. And he shows a lot of vulnerability, and you got to give him some props for being this open about his life and his career and his family life.
I mean, I understand that feeling of having to sort of give up on one part of your dream. If his dream was to go to Europe and play there and be successful, to some degree he did it, but the feeling of having to sort of let go of that, I get that. The part that surprises me is how, people were just upset that this was even brought up, that we tweeted it. People were saying like, oh, we were trying to get like clickbait. We were trying to get click clout, which I'm like, you can't even say that.
Click clout?
Click clout. That's the sound your boots are going to make when you walk on this hardwood floor.
Click clout, click clout.
I can't believe you put them on. Whatchamacallit, people said that like, people were like, and you call yourselves comedians, like, Doug, we put up an emotional post.
And people are just absurd. It's just like they expect comedians, like everything has to be funny. You have one serious thought, you're canceled.
Wow. You feel? Well, stop being a comic.
Boo. We're done with you.
It's so funny. Even when we put up the roast jokes, someone put these jokes are lame AF. It's like, well, you go ahead and do it. Go ahead.
Yeah, go to these other MLS roasts, these very soccer specific roasts.
Watch the other roasts
that are clearly available to all of us.
Get out of here.
But no, man. Look, this is the last thing. I think he probably should have chosen his words better.
I don't think so. I think say whatever the hell you want. I mean, I get the retirement word. People are like, I hope you speak Spanish because retire also means leave. Yeah, we get it. Click on our profile.
It's just, look, it's the nature of having having a behind the scenes anything, right?
Yeah.
Where things are going to be misconstrued. And when he was doing the media day, the MLS media day and everything, he had to defend this point. And I'm sure he didn't want to waste his time doing this. No. So that's why I say, for his own peace of mind, he probably shouldn't have used the word retirement. But if that's how he felt, it is what it is. And if he's fine defending himself and defending the point of view, I think he's going to do fine in the league. So I'm not worried about it. He clears it up
with his play. So all of this is a moot point. This is just something for fans of the rival teams to attach to.
Okay, we're fans of Chicharito, so have a great year. All right, so we'll be back with more after this. All right, welcome back. So we have to show our interview. We have to play our interview from the United Soccer Coaches Convention.
That's right. We're in Baltimore this year.
That's right.
And we saw a legendary Premier League player.
That's right. Shaun Wright-Phillips.
That's right. Ian Wright's kid, Bradley Wright's Phillips' brother. We saw him and we were like, yo, you want to do this interview? And he was like, oh, hold on a second. Let me just make sure I bring all the smoke.
I'm glad I packed the smoke with me.
I need some extra pockets for all the smoke.
Yeah, look, Shaun Wright-Phillips obviously played for Manchester City, played for Chelsea, also played for the New York Red Bulls with his brother, and he had a lot of opinions on MLS, and we didn't know exactly what to expect.
We just asked the question and flood waters.
But it's just like we basically said what was your former employer like, and he was like, oh, okay, finally someone asked me.
Well, let me tell you, he left a Yelp review.
That's basically what he did. But we had a great time talking to Shaun Wright-Phillips. I'm glad he got to sit down with us.
I'm glad he got to meet us.
What a privilege.
What an honor.
But here is our interview with Shaun Wright-Phillips at the United Soccer Coaches Convention.
United Soccer Coaches Convention. I keep saying United States Soccer Coaches Convention. Change the name. It's too confusing.
To make it more comfortable for Alexis.
Get out of here. We are here with I mean, every time I see you, there's people walking by going, oh, I'm a huge, and they put on a fake Manchester accent. I'm a huge City fan. Oh, I've been since day one. They're not, and they only had an Oasis album back in the day, and that's it. But yo, this dude, I mean, I've seen you do so much, even after you've left Manchester City. I've seen you carrying the trophy around. You hung out with Venice Beach FC. This dude played for the Red Bulls as well. You know him. You love him. Your dad was like an idol of mine growing up. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, put your hands together unless you're driving for Shaun Wright-Phillips, everybody.
Shaun, what's up, man?
What's happening, man? You guys good?
Yeah. You mad chill all of a sudden.
We met you just a couple moments ago, so thank you so much for doing this and agreeing to do it. We did the pitch. We said, hey, we're stand-up comedians. What's been your interactions with comedy and football or soccer? Like, because obviously whenever we introduce people and say we're stand-up comedians and enjoy soccer, especially in America, people are skeptical. They think we're going to make fun of them.
Never really had any. You lot seem like good guys.
Okay.
It's a good chance for me to obviously do something for my mentor and catch up with you guys at the same time. So I was like, yeah, why not?
All
That's
right.
dope. And my mentor is the platform that you hear, the learning platform you hear talking about at the convention. We'll get to that in a second. But looking at soccer in America, you played here. Your first entrance into soccer in America was probably Bradley, right? Playing at Red Bull.
No, I'd seen it before, but obviously my brother being here made me watch it a lot more.
Okay.
There was more reason to watch it.
And then you're the perfect person to ask because you played in England, obviously. You played at MLS, and then you went and played in Phoenix with your homie Drogba, right? I'm assuming you're friends. I don't know. Maybe I just put that
Well,
on
I think
you.
we're friends.
Right? He ain't text you back. So tell me what's going on. My man ghosting you right now. But what do you think? And be honest. Forget the fact that we're at the coaches convention. What do you think of the level in the U.S., especially from probably where you maybe first heard of it in like maybe a World Cup or something to where it is now?
I think for me personally, if you're trying to compare it with the Premier League, I'd say that they're in a way light years behind. I don't feel like the competition for the players is big enough. Like no relegation, no promotion. So actually, what are you playing for? Some places to get into the playoffs. So then the league doesn't actually mean nothing. You win the league and what do you get for it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that you packaged all that smoke when you came here, dog. You went right.
I'm honest, isn't it?
Real.
You want it honest, I'm giving you me.
Please come to New York and be on our TV show officially. This will be so dope. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a lot of people here that would argue otherwise, but I think it's because they're also making money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you would make more money just with that. You win the title, the players should be rewarded for it, and the club should be rewarded for it. If you go down, that means your team wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Like, why, if you're not good enough, should you play against the best players in the MLS all the time? Like, that should be a privilege to play against, say, your New York Cities or your Red Bulls, because they're stronger teams.
Yeah. It's fascinating because it is just a matter of fact. It's just like the way you're describing it, and the philosophy. It's English football has been this way for 100 years, and as American soccer fans, we do enjoy the version of football that we have, which is like finding incentive in trying to make the playoffs and making MLS Cup mean something. And it is, I understand, like it's really life or death, right? When if you get relegated, that's like there's actual people that are penalized for that failure.
Jobs are lost.
Yeah, but it's like, as a player, you lose the Premier League title, which you worked hard to get in the first place. So you're no longer a Premier League player. You're now a Championship player.
Yeah.
So like, it's a reward. It's an achievement, and it's like, yeah, I'm a Premiership player now. We deserved it. We fought all the way to get there. But in the MLS, what actually are you fighting for?
Yeah.
Like, you could be the best team all season, win that, get to the MLS Cup, just have one bad game, lose that, and now you're no longer classed as a champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
like
harder
it.
it's harder to
insane,
win the
dog.
league than it is to win the MLS Cup.
We got insanity, dog. That's what we want. We want bedlam. All right? We want chaos.
I think it's maybe just the way the American sports fan has been conditioned is like, the season doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah,
in
it
almost
doesn't.
any
like
sport.
the NBA couldn't have promotion and relegation because I'm a Knicks fan and we'd be playing high school teams. What would happen, and be honest, what would happen in England if tomorrow the Premier League decided no more promotion and relegation?
There'll be uproar. I don't think, like, it just wouldn't happen. So, like, the people in the Championship, they win the league and what? They just stuck in the same league.
Yeah.
So what's the point? Do you know?
It would never happen.
Do you think
it
it
would just
affects,
be.
do you think it because of that? Do you think it truly affects the player and how much drive they have and how good they want to be? You think the promotion relegation system genuinely it makes players better as an individual because there's that risk?
Yeah, because you want to be the best and you want to be in the best team. So even if you do really well and your team goes, we could go and buy a player. You can't do that in the MLS. It's like two teams and the MLS have to come to an agreement. Oh yeah, you can take this player, but we have to take no. We might want to build the squad to make the squad.
Use the mic closer because we
yeah. So I said basically, I'm saying that it's like if I worked hard as a championship player, we got up, but then we got released. A Premier League team could walk in and buy me. They can't here. It's trading. It's like I'm gonna give you a sticker if you give me this sticker. No, but then you're losing.
What was it like to play for the Red Bulls?
I love the disdain. You're just like, I'm
was every day
done
of the
with
Red Bulls
this.
for you just like, this is mad?
No, my first shock at Red Bulls was like, we finished the game, came in the change room, and there was just all reporters in there. I was like, what the is going on here? Like, that was
staring at all your junk, dude. That's what we were reporting on. My man works for Pornhub, dog.
Unreal.
I remember we went to MLS Cup and we had a videographer with us who was a woman, and an older woman saw us and she goes, "Just so you know, these men are going to be in showering, so maybe you don't want to bring them." I'm like, "You here?" And guess what? She had a 13-year-old boy with her. And he was like, had a blog or something. And I'm like, what are you to say? Is there a section for people who shouldn't be here? Is that what you're trying to say? It was so confusing. American soccer is absolutely out of this world. I think more fun than the Prem, just because you never know what's going to happen. Somebody gets traded for imaginary money here. Damn.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
amazing. You don't have that in the Prem. You have real money. Boo, it's boring. We play Monopoly out here, dog. That's right, baby, we're back. We've actually got a little more of the Shaun Wright-Phillips interview. In fact, we talk about his family, and somebody calls one of his family members a thought. I'm not going to say who.
Who could it be?
When we first were talking to you, we had mentioned your brother's rap career, and this is something we want to talk about at least with you because we've been trying to talk to him about it. Maybe get him on the show to kind of spit some bars a little bit. But you were actually complimentary of your brother's like rapping skills.
Yeah, he is very, very good.
Yeah.
But he just won't do anything. Nah,
you don't spit?
I'll stay out of that lane.
Yeah.
That lane's not for me. But yeah, he's very good. He just won't do anything until he retires, I don't think.
Okay.
I think he's got stuff out there, but people just don't know.
Day he retires, he's going to release a whole album probably.
He's got enough to do it.
Oh, okay.
I can't
definitely
wait.
got enough
I'm
to
going to
do
be
it.
sad when he retires, but man, this is going to be the catalog that comes after it. It's going to be impressive.
For someone like you to have Ian Wright hanging over your head, you know, pops and that, you know what I mean? Right?
That old man.
Yeah. I mean, how about the fact that he's like cool as hell now, like, or still, like he's still like on the edge of like hip.
He's a social media geek. That's why
Yes,
right
he
now.
is, dude. He's like
He's a socialite.
He's kind of like an Instagram thought.
Yeah, he's loving it right now.
Wow, you just called Ian Wright a thought to his son.
Yeah. Hey, he agreed though. The dude is like he's taking selfies in a Range Rover. Like, my guy, you're Ian Wright. How does that feel? Are you like, Dad, get off the internet? Or are you like, yo, this is lit?
I just know you got to do what you got to do now, and social media is the powerfulest tool in the world. So if you can use it, why not use it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you
That's
taking lessons from that? Like, he taught you how to play a little bit, right? Like, he was there
with
for
two
you?
different players, but yes, he was there for
right?
me.
Like, he sort of showed you the game of. Are you now also going to learn for Instagram from him? Because he's
Definitely
he's
not.
on the forefront.
I'm not that active on Instagram. I only post when I'm doing work or I've got a lot of content to post. But he's got content for days.
Yes, he
Because some of the
does.
pictures I've not even seen.
You're like, yo, I'm a pops, man.
It's incredible the fact that Ian Wright, older gentleman, right, but a Premier League legend, but he also, like, young people are not like, okay, boomer, you know.
No, not him.
They're actually very entertained by him and really see him as, like, we spoke to Troops from Arsenal Fan TV, and he was like, that's my dad. So you got another brother, bro.
I feel like I'm born and raised. I don't know if you know Newark, New Jersey. Not that far from
I know it. Yeah,
that's
I know
where I'm
it.
from. A lot of us grew up without dads, me included. So it feels like we had, like, for us, like, I don't know, like A-Rod or Derek Jeter. That was our dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Ian Wright was like what's the word with the S? A surrogate dad for a lot of kids in North London. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear you.
That's pretty dope. What are you doing now in the South? Are you living in the U.S.?
Yeah, Arizona. I'm following the sun, ain't I?
Oh,
Jersey
perfect.
was too cold for me in the winter.
Yeah. You're living in Arizona, all right? So terrible food, a lot of sun. How are you
I
dealing
cook
with
for
it? Though?
myself, innit? So
That's a
I
good
don't.
point.
The food doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, you're English. Food doesn't matter at all. They're like, whatever, boil it. Put some salt on it, maybe. Salt's a little spicy.
Not with my Caribbean background. You wouldn't get away
That's
with
a
that.
good point. That's
Okay,
a good
good.
point. All right. What are you here at the convention working on?
Well, myself and obviously you've met my partners and my bosses. We've got a platform called My Mentor.
Yeah.
So it's for like coaches, but it's seen from the educational side. So they can learn about decision making, nutrition, the psychological side of it, and the mental strength. And you can create your own platforms to become a better coach and also a better person. But you can also use it for seminars as well.
Okay. So it's like something that you could just sort of stay on and go to. You don't have to go out and find a coach or something. You could just do it right from your phone.
you can learn off other coaches. Of course, initially we're going to get to the point where you can take your badges and get your certificates online, but we're just not there yet. But the start-off program is cool. Like they brought it to me, and like I just said, I wish my Sunday League manager had a chance to have a platform like this, so I could have learned the right things earlier.
Right.
If that
Yeah,
makes sense.
it's-
So it's,
I thought it was
it's a
in
good
Spanish.
range.
I thought it was Mi Mentor because it's M-I, mentor. And then I had an idea. Wouldn't it be great if you guys did Mi Papa, right? I grew up without a father, right? But like, yo, you pull it up when you get home, and he's like, did you do your homework? And he's like I got it. You don't eat that, right? Nutrition.
Okay, yeah. Get the app developers working on it.
Right? Like you could pick your shade, right? Like, oh no, I'm
It's like an
Caribbean.
emoji, like an emoji.
Yeah.
So I know.
Just an app idea for you.
I want to ask lastly, as far as when it comes to coaching and maybe how you were coached in the U.S. Compared to England, what is there a particular I don't know if it's a coaching style, a philosophy, or mentality that you wish was involved in American soccer coaching that isn't?
From what I've seen so far, out of all the places, I feel like there's a gap between, like, I'd say from about 14 to 18, where it feels like the kids ain't playing enough or learning the right things. And I think that's the most important gap, because then after then they basically just go to USL or the MLS. So you're missing a big chunk of football, where I feel like now it's 2020, it's America, it's a big league, everybody knows about it. There should be an academy system or even scholarships given to kids where they train every day with the right coaches and they get that education every day at the same time. And I think it's doable. And the MLS makes enough money. I don't see why they don't do it, to be honest with you.
Damn, yo, Shaun Wright-Phillips, club owner of the year right here.
Fix this. What are you doing?
I want to invite you to my house. You'd be like, yo, move your couch over here. This ain't right. There's a gap between the living room and the kitchen, and we just losing time out here.
Well, thank you for your sincerity and your honesty,
He
Shaun
honestly meant
Wright-Phillips.
wrote to us that you would even come on our show.
Yeah, thank you so
Two
much,
dumb
man.
comedians, and they gave us a television show, and here we are.
Tell your brother to come through, man. We're dying to have him on
Tell
the show.
him we have 0 bars. He's going to win immediately.
People are dying to see it. They want it. The streets want it.
Yeah, streets is talking, and they want that BWP/Cooligans.
Shaun Wright, do you want to share any social media and people follow you? I know you're not super active, but if you want people to know what you're doing next.
Where can people find you?
If you want to find me, obviously my Twitter is SWP29. On Instagram is SeanWP98. Come and check it out. It gets lively, and then there's a little drought, and then I'll quench your thirst
When it
again.
gets too hot,
Yeah.
charge my phone.
Shaun Wright-Phillips, thank you so much for
Nice
taking the
one,
time.
guys.
man.
Next time we're in Arizona, you got to show us if there's any good Jamaican food out there.
Yeah, there's 2 really good places.
Yeah.
Look at that, too.
All right, let's
So
go.
2 that I've been to and tried. I can't speak for the rest.
Yeah, there's 2 more than I thought would be there.
Yeah. I'm surprised there's even Jamaicans in Arizona, to be honest with you.
Shaun Wright-Phillips, thank you so much, man.
Nice one, guys.
All right, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed SWP.
What a wonderful and wildly open human being.
Very unexpected, but great dude. I'm glad he sat down with us.
Very rare do we have an interview where I'm like, dial it back, buddy.
Hey,
Jeez.
aren't you worried about how you're gonna be perceived?
Ouch.
No, man, great dude. I'm hopefully we get BWP on someday.
I want all the WPs. I want them all.
So one thing I wanted to make sure we talked about.
Do they have like an Archie Manning, like someone like no one knows what they do for a living? Is there
No,
a right
Archie Manning is the father.
Oh,
you
who's
mean the brother? I don't know his
Cody?
name.
Cody Manning?
Cooper. Cooper Manning.
What a terrible.
Hey, Cooper
Terrible.
Wright-Phillips, where are you at?
You know? Yo, Ian, have another kid, dude.
So I wanted to talk about the Olympic qualifiers, which are coming up for the women's national team, obviously, and the men's national team.
That's right. Olympic qualifiers across the board, but the men don't put in their senior squad.
Yes, it's the U23s, but I believe they're allowed 3 players that are above the age of 23. I think that's the rule for the Olympics. The women's national team, for the women's side, they could play at any age. It does not matter. But the interesting thing was for the women's national team qualifiers, there was no TV deal in place.
And it starts
this week.
So awesome.
So finally, it was sorted out with Fox. They're going to be airing them. But this is like, you know, people were like, how can I watch the game? And then
they're like, well, we'll let you know soon.
Okay, well, there's going to be some GeoCities site that's going to be available.
Yeah. We're on Wix right now building it. Don't you worry.
So CONCACAF finally sorted that out.
It's pronounced GeoCities?
GeoCities, yeah.
I used to call it Geocities.
I don't think that's what it is.
Of course not. Of course I'm wrong.
Anyway, but this is the when I was hearing about this, it reminded me of a lot of the issues that a lot of the corruption within CONCACAF especially was because of TV deals.
I'll let you know if a red dot appears on your forehead at any moment.
No, but what happened was that because of the TV deals, they the higher ups would basically take a cut and basically pay me, and then you'll get the rights to the TV deal.
Of course.
So when it's
which I want to go on record as saying I would have also done.
It's a terrible thing to do.
Yeah, no, it's not great, but it just seems like it makes sense.
So when I hear stuff
I have control of this.
when I hear stuff like this about like it's like 11, the game is at 4 o'clock, and at 3:59 the deal is put in place.
Exactly.
I'm like, okay, this doesn't seem on the up and up.
Sketch.
It's a little sketchy.
Yeah.
I hope it was sorted out. I hope it was sorted out with.
Well, I'm just glad that people can watch the Olympic qualifying because so many of these. We were talking about Alex Morgan, 6 months pregnant training. She wants to be a part of all of this.
Exactly.
So that's how serious they take these Olympics. Everyone's minds were on the Olympics right after winning the World Cup. So
yeah, it's huge for the women's national team and the men's national team. The men especially, who they haven't even made it into the last like 2 Olympics. So they really need to
They need a W.
And I'm glad we can watch them. All right, that's the important thing. All right, so we'll be back with more right after this, everybody.
We did it.
We did it again.
Aren't we amazing?
Who you asking?
Look at this emotional roller coaster we've taken people on today.
Yeah, man. I know it's so for some people it could be, they come to a comedy show, they tune in and it's like, what's all the sadness?
Yeah, hey.
Slow down.
Do a couple skits.
But yes, thank you for tuning in. I know it's been an emotional roller coaster, a heavy one, but it's
next show. We got more interviews from Baltimore, which
that's
is
right. We're gonna be talking to Peter Wilt, one of the men who invented American soccer.
Yeah, he started more professional soccer teams than anyone else in the world, which is kind of dope.
It was a great chat. So make sure you follow us at Soccer Cooligans. My name is Christian Polanco.
I'm Alexis Guerrero.
And together, what are we?
What are we?
The Cooligans!